LA. But great for that intro, and just a couple of things on, why Ducere. I think that's a good question. There's probably a lot of different ways we could answer that question, but I don't want to sort of talk for the next 3 hours. So a couple of things that I would just call out. One is that we are a social enterprise. We funded philanthropic education across 27 countries in Africa, and we do a ton of diversity and equity work. And a lot of people, have very nice value statements and vision statements and talk about diversity and equity. But, I think it's always important to really look under the hood and what are organizations actually doing, and how do they stand by some of those principles, and what does that mean in practice? Mm-hmm. So for us, I actually just had a post on LinkedIn. If anyone wants to join me on LinkedIn, you'll see it. And I had a post with a image of Hillary Clinton from a documentary that she was in. I've been very lucky to have met Hillary Clinton a number of times through some of the collaboration work that we've done. And she talks about the gender pay gap, and she has a real depth of knowledge and talks about how there isn't actually a gender pay gap. There is a mother pay gap specifically. It's actually a penalty for mothers, because when women leave the workforce to start a family, their colleagues are just working for years and moving up, step by step, but they've kind of hovered sideways because they've been out of the workforce for 3, 5, 7, 10 years, whatever it is. So just really interesting in terms of understanding what are the real issues and how do you compensate for that. In addition, we've got, the first chancellor we had was Julia Gillard, Australia's first female prime minister. A current patron of our philanthropic work is one of only a few ever elected female presidents from the African continent. So that's all exciting, but I think most practical is not just necessarily those name-dropping opportunities, but the practicality of the millions of dollars that we fund in scholarships for women in leadership. And of course, we've got a vested interest. We're a global university group. We believe in education, but we also do genuinely believe that that is what breaks a systemic cycle. Just saying, everyone should be treated equally and everyone should be given a fair go. Yeah, that's true, but it doesn't really change anything. The thing that actually moves the needle is when minorities are given access to advanced education, when women are given opportunities for advanced degrees at the same level as men. One of our colleagues here in LA, who you know really well, Joe Caroline, just last kind of comment, and then I'll stop talking unless anyone's got any specific questions for me. But she went to UC. Everyone knows UC here. Great program, good reputable school, but she's in her MBA working on projects, and I've seen photos, and you just see like a whole bunch of men and one woman. So, well, how are you ever going to have equality in leadership if 5 times more men are graduating from masters and PhDs and MBAs? Then when a senior leadership role comes up, it's like, oh, you weren't quite qualified compared to this other guy that we ended up giving the job to. So you got to start from that beginning of getting the right credentials. Anyway, that's our philosophy and methodology, and the sort of why Ducere from my perspective, if that's helpful, hopefully.